There are a lot of times when making a map where your lighting just seems off. This tutorial isn't meant to teach you how to light each of your hallways perfectly. That varies on a map-by-map basis. This tutorial covers more things like art and fundamental design, a bit more tips and tricks to make your map's lighting that much better. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate purposeful lighting, which helps guide the player, non-flat lighting, aka playing light around with the world, and some basic color theory. You should have a basic understanding of how lighting entities work in your engine. In this case, I'm using Source. Here we have a solid hallway. It's abandoned and dirty, but nothing adherently says abandoned, creepy, in use, or sexy. Hey, I meant scary! Get out of here! So the conundrum you have to start out with is, what feel do you want this place to have? For this hallway, we're going, it's more of a maintenance hallway, so we're going to incorporate, lighting that seems appropriate in such an environment. Our first step is to guide the player to where he needs to go, which is the shipping area down this hallway. We can accomplish this in a multitude of ways. For example, controlled shadowing. Notice the way the light interacts with the objects in the world. I played with the lighting placement to enhance the features of the geometry and cast some cool shadows that lead the player's eye into the hallway towards shipping. This can be accomplished with floodlights, wall lights, security lights, spotlights, whatever. And a big problem with most people's maps is flat, generic lighting. Simple lights coming straight down from the actual lights. Nothing wrong with it, but after a while it gets repetitive. Be sure to play the lighting around the environment every now and again. Controlled shadowing does just that. Just angle some of your lights every now and again in the hallways. This method also makes things a little darker and more unsettling. Like my mom. Or cock! Color and color theory. Another thing to play around with when lighting your map. Games and movies are adopting this one more and more. An example is this clip from The Hobbit. Notice the blues and the oranges. They contrast it in a way that makes it artistic and beautiful. This same thing can be done in your levels. Orange and blue has always been a favorite, but there are a lot of colors that complement each other well. Color theory is finicky, but here are some basics. Orange can mean warmth or comfort. The blue gives it a colder, more artificial feel. Contrasting any two colors give the player a sense of conflict, even if it's only subconscious. Something to also keep in mind is your textures. For instance, there's a lot of red in this hallway because of that bunker wall. So, if I have the hallway a little cooler where you spawn, and I put a red light in the direction I want the player to go, he will be more likely to know that that is where he is going because of the color flow. Red to red, tan to tan, whatever. Nothing is more atrocious than, pure white lighting or sickly yellow lighting. It screams noob. Noob! The other colors are only for specific occasions. For instance, green is an organic light. Lifelike areas such as forests or zen, as an example. A lot of this is just kind of intuitive, and you will get better at recognizing when to use what with practice. Other simple tips for your lighting are using env sprites and dust motes near your lights. Make it seem like your light affects the world at least a little bit, some dust, whatever it takes, whatever engine you're using. I'm sure there's a bunch of features. Doing color correcting is important as well. It really helps you fine-tune your colors and your lights. So, after watching some of those tips, start applying them. If you're a person whose lighting is flat and ugly, start angling your light spots and add things in the environment to bounce around off and cast shadows. If your colors are ugly, apply some color theory tactics. It really is an art form, and it takes a lot of practice and work to figure it out. As a final note, please realize that every level is completely different. I don't have an art degree in any of this, nor am I Gandalf and know all things. These tips are small things I've picked up in my 6.5 years of making levels and various observations in the gaming industry. Take it as you will. Also, I want to try something cool here. If you want, make your own map and post it here on YouTube, tag it with Dredile, and private message it to me. And I'll make a video with some of the best submissions showing off what cool lighting things or whatever you did cool with your map. something cool, involve the community a little bit in these tutorials. So, kiddies, as always, subscribe and check out some of my other stuff. This time there are more tutorials coming. I already have a couple in the works, as you can see from the sexy flyby of this map right now. So thank you very much for watching, and good gaming.